I'm Carmela, and this is my newly revamped YouTube channel, Carmela Creates. I'm going to start doing these kind of weekly vlog check-ins just to keep myself accountable. I just wanted to do this real quick intro just to kind of give a quick overview of the changes that are going to be happening here on this YouTube channel, including the name. I have had my jewelry shop, Carmela's Jewelry, for 11 years, I think. I opened it in 2011, actually, when my daughter was just a year old, my oldest daughter. And since then I've had another daughter, so I have two daughters. They both play lacrosse. They're both on travel teams, so that keeps me and my family really busy. We just recently went to California with my older daughter to, she played lacrosse in Palm Springs, which was really fun. And she and I also went to the beach in San Diego. So it was a really fun weekend. We just did that a couple weekends ago. And this year, 2026, is gonna possibly come with a lot of changes for me and my family. I have been a military spouse for 20 or 18 years, I guess, and my husband just recently retired from the military, so he is starting a new position, and that's really exciting. And then also I am considering a career change, which I will talk more about in this video. But I hope you guys stick around, and I'm going to overlay myself working here in my shop. Without further ado, I will stop this intro and bring you to previous me, where I will explain more of the changes that are coming.
Oh boy. Oh shit. Oh man.
Hi. It's been a while since I did a video like this. It is January 26th, 2026, and that huge storm that swept across the nation dropped ice and snow on like every state in the country. We're in Northern Virginia, so we got the same kind of snow that the DC area got for the most part. We got about like a half a foot of snow, and then it turned into this like weird sleet ice stuff. I'm not really sure what to call it. It was like sand almost, like the consistency of sand, but it looked like snow, but it was like more like ice, basically, like tiny little beads of ice. And that, we got like a few inches of that. So it kind of weighed down the snow. And so currently there's just heavy, thick chunks of like ice covering the snow that we had gotten before that. Anyway, the kids had off of school today. They'll have off again tomorrow. My husband can't get his car out of the driveway because they have not even plowed our cul-de-sac at all yet. And so nobody, even with fancy Jeeps and, you know, four-wheel drive, really good vehicles, nobody can get out of our road because there's like a half a foot of frozen, like gross stuff on the road. So we're all stuck together for several days. Luckily, my kids have some neighbor friends that they are outside playing with right now, so that's nice. But my husband is home. He is upstairs somewhere, and I am downstairs in my studio, and I can literally hear him like walking heavy-footed all around the house, which is almost, it's very distracting and kind of disturbing. Like literally right now I can hear him pounding away as he walks back and forth upstairs. He's a little frustrated because of the fact that he just got a new job and can't go to work the next, who knows how long. So I am planning on changing up this YouTube channel from here on out because I am losing confidence in my jewelry shop being successful or thriving anymore. So this is gonna just kind of become more of like a personal vlog, and also I'm gonna talk a bit about some of the other things I'm trying to work on This year I'm gonna study for my praxis exam so that I can try to get a teaching license. I don't know how that'll work. They do have a program in Virginia called the Career Switcher program, which essentially like gives people who have a college degree the opportunity to have like a fast track method of getting their teaching license so that I can teach in Virginia. And I have a master's in library science, so I'm hoping I can try to get a job in a library at a school, but we'll see, because availability is kind of limited around here. I'm in a big area though, so I'm sure there's going to be opportunities, but I feel like I need to get my ducks in a row for that first, like get my pass the praxis exam first. And in all honesty, I really suck at taking like standardized tests like that, especially when it comes to elementary education topics like science and math that I haven't actually done in decades. I have 2 daughters, but I haven't really had to do too much to like assist them with their school since they were younger. They're pretty much independent on their ability to like get homework done and study for stuff. So it's been a while since I have had to learn anything to do with, you know, algebra or like earth sciences and things like that. The other thing I am going to talk about more on this channel, I've written for a long time. I've been writing since I was, I guess, forever, since I was a little girl. I wrote my first full-length novel when my older daughter was like 1 or 2 years old. That was when I finished. It was called Earth Project, and the overall like idea of the book was that humans didn't evolve on Earth, this Earth. They actually evolved on a different planet, and they were able to essentially like travel across the universe in order to, or like they found a wormhole or something. I didn't really come up with like specifics on that. It was just the concept of humans not evolving on this planet, and basically humans being way more advanced and secretly like existing on a whole other Earth called First Earth, and they were able to populate 2 other planets, and we were the 3rd Earth, this Earth. Oh my god, this is the most horrible description of that novel, but it never saw the light of day, and I ended up giving up on it on like the 2nd draft. I did finish the 1st draft, revised it when I was like 24 years old. No, I must have been older than that. I must have been like 30 almost, because I didn't have my daughter until I was 27. So I wrote that book in my mid-20s, I guess, late 20s, and then revised it once and wrote a query letter, did the whole thing, and then tried to get an agent for that book, and ended up getting like 5 form rejections, and 1 person did actually give me some feedback, which was really nice. If you're in that kind of world, you kind of know that like form rejections are pretty typical for when you're querying agents, but getting actual like comments in the rejection is like a good sign that your story is not terrible. Or, you know, I don't know, that was just how I took it at the time. But I was rejected by every agent, but I didn't really query all that many. I queried like I said, like 5 or 6, I think. And then I decided to work on that book again, and that was, I'm 42 years old now. That was like 15 years ago, and I have not yet finished revising a full-length novel again. I've written like 7 novels since then, but I've only ever gotten the 1st draft done, and then every time I go back to try to work on revisions and polishing up that 1st draft, because every like wannabe author is well aware of the fact that your first draft is almost like 99.9% of the time it's kind of a mess, and you have to, you know, go through and fix plot holes and work on character development and make sure like you've remembered all the details of all the characters and like basic stuff. But like I just have never actually gone back through and done all of those revisions on any of those novels. I've tried, I've started all of the revisions. I've promised myself every single year for the past 15 years that that this was the year and this is gonna happen this year. And 2026 is no different from all of those other years. I'm hoping and working towards finishing revisions on my current work in progress, which I'm calling All My Last Days, which I'm hoping that's going to actually be the title of the novel. So in the new format of this YouTube channel, I do actually hope to work on just kind of documenting my experiences with working on that novel and actually trying to query agents. And I've seen other YouTube videos of people who have vlogged their experiences about querying agents and then ending up with an agent. And I really want to be able to make a video like that at some point. This channel really did start out as my jewelry shop channel, and it kind of like kills me to admit the fact that since COVID basically, my jewelry shop has been kind of declining in revenue and popularity and just views, orders. Every single stat that they show you on your Etsy like platform page when you log in is always a negative red number, and it's usually 2 digits, and it's no different this year. I'm like 50% lower in orders this month compared to last January, and in January of last year I was like 30 or 40% lower than the January before that. COVID was really the peak of my jewelry shop, and I was so happy and proud, and if I try to talk too much about it, I'm just gonna cry. So I'm going to stop talking about my jewelry shop here, other than to say, if you've been paying attention to the news and the silver prices, they were like $29 an ounce last year at this time for silver. This year, the current cost of silver, I think as of like recently, is over $100 per ounce. So it has increased, what, $30, we'll just round up, and it was $30 last year at this time, and now it's over 100. So it's almost three and a half times more expensive to purchase silver now, today, than it was last year at this time, which means so supplies have all tripled in price, at least, because that doesn't even touch the fact that tariffs have become a huge issue, and purchasing supplies across the board, even before silver prices rose, had become almost prohibitively expensive, they've become extremely expensive to purchase supplies. Tools are way more expensive. Replacing anything that breaks is now like horrible, because you don't want to have to pay for a new tumbler or a new computer. Oh my god, I had to get a new computer in October for my work, and the new computer sucks, and it was the least expensive what I could find, and it still costs like twice what my original computer cost for this engraver that I have. And the engraver, not to mention, like, is, if anything happens to that, I am definitely gonna have to close my shop, because it is the thing I use for almost everything. Because I make a lot of personalized stuff: fingerprint jewelry, handwriting jewelry, custom name rings, and motivational, inspirational rings. I love doing all of that, but I always worry, because that engraver is essentially like the heart of my jewelry shop, and yeah, if it goes down, I will not be able to replace it, because it costs the same as my almost as my first house. So it's expensive. That's not true. It was less than that, but it probably would actually cost that now if you were to try to get a new one, because I bought that like before the tariffs and before Trump's second term started. I've worked with silver for my entire jewelry silversmithing career. I've been soldering for like a decade, and I'm really I love making jewelry, and it is something that I'll always do, even if I don't do it professionally anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna also blame some current events for the downfall of online shopping, I guess, and just go ahead and assume that a lot of the past year has contributed to why I have seen such a decline in orders. It's because people are just like the top couple percent of America is the big spenders right now, and the rest of America is kind of struggling. So it's hard to have a consistent sale volume in this economic climate that we have right now. So, it's not 100% my fault, at least it doesn't feel like it is, because I haven't really changed how I do what I do. I have been adding new listings, changing SEO, changing descriptions, trying to keep up with all of the different things that you have to keep up with when you own a small business. The bottom line is that my jewelry shop is not doing great, and it's probably not going to be the thing that I do for the next... I always thought it was going to be the thing that I did until I retired. But honestly, I don't even know if that's really what I want anymore. I miss being around people. I miss having work friends and stuff. This is really isolating, working from home like this, and that's kind of why I'm starting to do the vlogging again too, because I just feel like I am lonely, genuinely, and this kind of makes me feel like I'm sort of connected to people again. This past year I was diagnosed with ADHD, so I kind of now I understand more about some of my limitations, and I'm still really working on trying to figure out how to give myself more grace and be more patient with myself. And as much as I say that right now, I still beat myself up whenever I'm not actually actively pursuing something. I'll spend hours a day just reading and watching news reports about horrible things happening in the world, and there's so many horrible things happening in the world. I'm not doing anything to help. It's like doom scrolling, I guess, because I almost can't look away. It's one of those things that, as much as I know it's not good for me to be so emotionally invested in current events, because it's not going to help my mental health in any way. It's compulsive. I can't stop watching the downfall of democracy. So that's not really something I want to talk about though on this channel either. I just want to use this as an excuse to kind of get away from that stuff and be more confident, and try to give myself more of an outlet to make me feel more grounded, I guess, because otherwise I just keep making lists for myself that I half complete and then eventually abandon, and it's probably a lot to do with the ADHD, and last year was really rough as far as like my mental health went. I am actively working on that now, and I do hope for this year to be better than last year, and that's all I can really work on doing. So I'm gonna close it up here. I do hope that I actually post this video, because I have been making vlogs like this, like genuinely, for like many times this past year, and none of them have actually made it onto any kind of social media channels. So, but I do hope to actually edit this one and put it together and make more of these vlog type videos where I'm making jewelry and getting my stuff done, and also just talking about what's going on in my life, just to keep me more accountable and make me feel more connected, and sort of almost use it as a hobby, sort of. I'm also learning how to play the piano, which is exciting. That's something I just started doing. My family and I got a cool like electric piano this Christmas, and really I got it for myself because that was something I wanted to try to do, since it's supposed to be good for people of my age to learn instruments or learn new things, because it helps keep your brain young. So far, I'm enjoying it. It's not super frustrating yet. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I'm just using YouTube videos and YouTube tutorials to teach me how to do it. I don't know. Hopefully work on my book, get it published. These are my 2026 goals. And then work on this vlog more often, and actually, you know, maintain it, and maybe do it weekly. Try to come up with better routines and habits for myself. Try to be more consistent with all the things. So thank you if you actually watched this. There's probably about 10 of you out there, so I appreciate it, and really this is more for me than anybody else. I know I'm not the first person to struggle with all of the things I've already complained about, and I know there's a lot of you out there who are feeling the same way that I am about the state of the world. So join me hopefully next week, we'll see, when I hopefully come back and have another one and drink another cup of tea and film myself making jewelry for a while. So I hope you guys have a good week. Cheers. I will see you next time.